Welcome to Make a Path Presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes, and today, let's talk 5 ways Glenn could still be alive. Alright guys, the first on my list, if he did in fact slide under the dumpster, and now this is very difficult, I'll explain why. First off, yes, there are some dumpsters that really have no crack or no space, but there are dumpsters that do have enough space for a body to at least slide under. However, when he gets under there, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to stab a walker that's at his feet. It's almost going to be impossible. So, this theory is flawed somewhat. The only way it would work is if he slid under the dumpster. If a walker tried to follow him, he stabbed the walker, maybe another one came this way, stabbed that walker, but the walkers aren't intelligent. The walkers in the back of the dumpster will not go, let me just check under the dumpster. They're not going to do that. So chances are it will only be 1 or 2 or 3 of the walkers that's in front of him that see him. They'll come after him and he could just simply stab them like this. It killed them. Their bodies will lay in the, half in the crack or half under the dumpster, half out of the dumpster. And those bodies will then block anything else from getting in there. And that's it. The zombies will continue to eat Nicholas till there's nothing left. After that point in time, the walkers just go to being, wandering idiots, because that's what they do. And if, for those of you who are saying, oh no, they know Glenn is there, they'll still get him. The zombies are just not that intelligent. Look at Michonne. When she has the pets, she's 2 feet, 3 feet behind them, chilling, walking, because it appears that when the walkers mask the scent, if you don't do anything that gets their attention, they won't attack you. So if Glenn could shift out of there, kill 1 or 2 that that notice him, that he does get their attention, being in that space, that might actually work. Now, there's some flaws there, so if you pick up on some flaws, put those down in the comment box. Let's go to number 2. The body shield. Now this one is a little more difficult, and this one also relies on the idea of Michonne's walker pets and not having the attention of those walkers. Now what if Glenn could pull himself out from under that, one of the walkers that's near him, if it attacks him or it lunges for him, if he simply kills that walker, kneels down in a little ball and puts that walker over him, man, he's going to cramp up. Man, it's going to be uncomfortable, but he will essentially survive that. Other walkers shouldn't, as long as he doesn't get their attention or, whatever it is, they should not really attack him, because the Michonne theory. Keep in mind, if you go back and watch, Michonne is chilling, she doesn't have guts on her body or nothing. She's in a tank top, walking with the 2 walkers, just chilling. So as long as they mask the scent and they're so focused on eating Nicholas, they should not really notice Glenn. Again, it's all about getting their attention. Because once Michonne loses it when she's walking with the walkers, and I think she kills that one dreaded walker that looks similar to her, she loses her shit, and that's when the other walkers go, oh, it's food, because she caught their attention. However, that's what I have to say about that. Again, any disagreements or agreements, put those in the comment box. Number 3. Enid saves Glenn. I don't know how well this is going to play out, because one thing I wrote down here that's a very, very important factor is when did she leave? And how would she save Glenn? Now, when did she leave is very, 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 very important. Now, if I think back real quick, it's like she was leaving or she had left. Ooh, damn. See, they had a 45-minute timer and everything, so I'm sure if someone went back and rewatched them, you can actually pinpoint roughly around when Enid would leave, and realistically, if she would be anywhere near Glenn at that point in time. Right now, I'm going to say no. I don't think that's possible, but there are hints. Yes, Enid did say, the actress, that when she returns, it will be a complete surprise and fans will love it, or something similar to that. So yeah, it is possible. Right now, I really am not seeing many ways for her to get down that little alleyway, let alone leaving in enough time to save him. Now, if, something happens that, Glenn has saved himself and she just stumbles upon a Glenn that's dehydrating and dying and he got out of it himself somehow and she saves him that way, I could see that. a little more than I could see her showing up with all the walkers there. Alright, let's move on to number 4. Jesus saves Glenn. Now, this is a little more understanding, and no offense to Enid being a girl, but she's just young, and I just don't think she has the experience needed to deal with a horde of walkers. But if Jesus is there, if he was roaming around or traveling and he did get caught, if he was close by or near, he could have stayed in that alleyway or in the building and boarded up that fire escape. He could come out and seen it or something. We could actually start an episode with Jesus, walking around, camping out, and we're all like, who's this asshole? Comic book fans are like, Jesus, and then we see him camp out one day. Maybe he blocks the fire escape and some of us are like, oh shit. He camps out in the building, eats some food, looks over some notes. We see him reading at night and tucks a picture of a guy in the book. That'll really piss off some people, but hey, what the hell, it's all for fun. And then he hears something in the morning time when he's packing up his stuff. He goes out to the alleyway and then we get to see it from his viewpoint, which most likely they'll never do, because unless they filmed that angle, that point of view, when it happened, but most likely we'll just hear it if they do this, and Jesus then could do something to save Glenn or distract the walkers while Glenn does his own part to, again, do the body shield or slide under the dumpster. If Jesus can make some kind of noise, I don't know, something. Let me know what you think about Jesus saving him. If you have any ideas on how he could ninja kick the damn rabbit his way into that situation and do something, I don't know. Number 5, Glenn just waits. Now this is possible because if he slides under the dumpster and he utilizes the whole, walkers coming in, or maybe the walkers don't even see him because they're feasting, which is realistic because if a walker is feasting, he shouldn't really be focused on some dude who's going over there. He's stuffing his face. That's what walkers do. They just need to eat. So if he can shimmy his ass under that dumpster and just wait, maybe it takes a day. Maybe it's 2 days. Maybe by the time the walkers leave, he can barely get himself out from under the dumpster. He's hurting, he's weak, he's cramped up, his body feels broken. That is a possibility. He finally digs himself out from under that dumpster, and maybe Enid or Jesus find him half dead. They take him back to the hilltop, and when Maggie and them get to the hilltop, that would be a one hell of a welcoming surprise if they're treating Glenn, who was damn near dead when they found him. Maybe they'll just show Glenn at the hilltop recuperating, and they tell the story of how they found him. These are 5 ways Glenn could live. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying it's going to be one of these 5 ways. This is open discussion. So if you're still interested in this topic, go ahead and leave your thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I love hearing your creative ideas. And keep in mind, too, because I know a lot of people say, man, Hayes, you're on point with some shit, and I get a lot of compliments, but do not forget, this is about discussion. You guys come up with some shit that I don't come up with, and it's really beneficial to all of us because we're all giving each other ideas. So don't think like this is a place where you come for all the answers. That's not what this is. I give the best answers I have, and if you guys got better ones, I would love to hear them. I was editing this Glenn video and I realized I left out something that I know a couple fans are going to mention, and I really shouldn't have left it out because a lot of fans are talking about it. But I will explain why I left it out. Before I do, what is that way that Glenn could still be alive? You tell him, Biggie.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, it was all a dream. Either a dream or hallucination. A lot of people have different variations. Glenn could be in the dumpster witnessing Nicholas getting eaten alive, and he's hallucinating. I know there was a dream or somebody mentioned Nicholas was having a hallucination, and neither one of them got eaten. I just don't see any of that. Oh, there was another one that was actually pretty clever. Let me try to think. Somebody, as far as the dream and hallucination ones go, somebody did mention, they're going to be so pissed I didn't include their name. I get so many messages, and sometimes it's just impossible. I remember, what you were saying, but it's so hard to remember exactly who said what and pin it together. But anyway, someone said that what we seen is what Glenn tells them happened, but what really happened is later on we'll see it through flashbacks where Glenn kills Nicholas and throws him into the crowd of walkers. I believe, I might have butchered their shit, but I believe that it's something similar to that. Let me address that first. No, I don't think that's the case because it's not really in the style of The Walking Dead, mainly because if Glenn told them what happened, it doesn't make sense that we see it play out in real time when Michonne and everyone else is running away. For us to be able to see what Glenn is relating or telling the story of what happened to people, it would happen when Glenn is telling the story, you know, like, oh, Glenn, what happened to you? And then he's like, oh, this happened, and then we see it. So it just doesn't fit the style of storytelling. That goes the same for everyone thinking it was all a dream or a hallucination. And I know some people are like, well, they hallucinated Lori or this or that. Tyrese hallucinated, which was actually a byproduct of what happened to Tyrese. But anyway, it's just not in their style to have them dream something that vivid and take place of real of reality, of what has actually happened. Because essentially that's what it would break down to. If it was a dream, we would be watching everything play out in real time, but then out of nowhere, and for no explained good reason, we see Glenn's hallucination or Glenn's dream. It just does not fit with the style of storytelling that they do on the show. It doesn't fit at all. So if you like the idea, I'm sorry. I just do not feel like it. And I could be dead wrong. I mean, I've been wrong a number of times before, so probably only like 3 times out of 500 videos. I'm just kidding. Anyway, leave your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about Glenn? Do you think he's alive? Do you think he's dead? Do you think he survived by any one of these 5 ways that we mentioned in the video? Or do you think it is actually the hallucination /
It was all a dream.
What do you think? Put your thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.